It's a rivalry that needs no introduction, with a history rooted in tough, rugged hockey. But nowadays, this all-Alberta matchup is dominated by speed and skill. Some of the league's top young talent now reside here. In Edmonton, they're building chemistry, while Calgary has a headliner who's forging a reputation for delivering in the clutch. These emerging stars provide the fuel for this provincial grudge match. The fists may not fly like they used to, but it's still the Oilers and Flames. And the showdown in Wild Rose Country is next. Now they keep the gloves on, and it's just as exciting. The slimmest of margins separates these two teams, one single point. The race to the playoffs in the Pacific. Have a look at Johnny Gaudreau, 37 points in 34 games. If there is a more exciting player at 3-on-3, we have not seen him. Taylor Hall drives this team, drives possession, drives points, and he drives the Oilers' top line. He's hoping to drive the Oilers right into a playoff position. Jeff Marek alongside Rich Sutter and John Shannon. Those two gentlemen in a second. In the meantime, we welcome in Roger Millions. And it's 10 wins in a row at home for the Calgary Flames, Roger. Tonight, they go for a record.
That's right, Jeff. And a franchise record, if they win tonight, it's 11 consecutive games, and they've done it the right way. Scoring 38 times and allowing only 23 in those 10 wins tells you they've had the law of averages on their side. And you mentioned these two young stars, Alberta stars indeed, Taylor Hall and Johnny Gaudreau for their respective teams. Now they're both red hot. Hall 6 goals and 8 assists, 14 points in his last 10, while Gaudreau 13 goals and 7 assists. Wow, red hot. And this is game 3 of this 5-game series this season. So far, the teams have split. The Oilers winning right here in Calgary. The Flames up at Edmonton. This is the last home game for Calgary, however. They'll play in Edmonton on January 16th and then back at Rexall on April the 2nd. Jeff?
Roger, thanks very much. Back here at the Hockey Central Studios, John Shannon and Rich Sutter. We can't talk about Johnny Gaudreau enough, I don't think, anyhow, because the young man is just so exciting to watch. And to have a look here at the number of points this young man has been able to pile up going back to December the 1st. Some pretty big names there. Vladimir Tarasenko, he's good, right, John? Patrick
He's a pretty
Kane,
good player.
He's not bad as well. Number 1 as far as points go going back to the 1st of December is indeed Johnny Gaudreau.
Well, and I think you have to know that Todd McLellan's sitting on the Oiler bench saying, man, we've got to manage this guy the way he plays the game. They know exactly what he does. He does it with his tempo, whether it be his own speed, as you can see in this situation, his ability to break out of his own zone, or he does it other ways. He does it by slowing the pace down, probably more on the power play than anything else, but in a situation of being able to use the puck rather than and his vision rather than his skating. Bob Hartley called him today a computer on skates. He knows exactly what to do at the right time and how to use his own tempo, and that's something that Todd McLellan's well aware of for the Oilers.
One of the most creative computers we've ever seen. Top line for the Edmonton Oilers, Leon Draisaitl, Taylor Hall, and Teddy Purcell making this team go.
The biggest thing for this hockey club is when Connor McDavid went down, Draisaitl was playing left wing. They had to have a body back in the middle, a big body, and they got Leon Draisaitl to move them back over in the middle. And what has this line done? They've carried the offense of this hockey club. They've given them opportunities to win on way too many nights. Draisaitl and Hall are both at better in point per game clips. Purcell has really filled in nicely with these guys, but the biggest thing I like about Draisaitl is I think he's actually started to tone Taylor Hall's game down. He's a big guy that wants the puck, he can manage the puck, he can lean on people, and he can make plays. And I think it's settled Taylor Hall's game down, and they become a dynamic duo, and throwing Purcell along there, they become a pretty good line in the National Hockey League.
And it is Anders Nilsson versus Kerry Ramo. Nilsson have an opportunity to go back in goal after Cam Talbot's loss in Vancouver. Todd McLellan's not willing to go back-to-back at this point. He needs both goalies to be good for the rest of the season.
How's Cam Talbot's neck after last night? Boy, that was frightening. All right, as the Oilers and the Flames, they don't have to coast on the rep of the Battle of Alberta. Two young, exciting, fast-skating teams go head-to-head luchador style in Calgary in moments.
Scotiabank Saddledome in Calgary. It's round 3 of 5 this season. Battle of Alberta. Each team has won and the others building so far. As we take a look at tonight's starting goaltenders, brought to you by Intact Insurance Company. Proud to partner with the Calgary Flames. For the Edmonton Oilers, Anders Nilsson, the 25-year-old Swede who spent last season in the KHL, gets the start. Cam Talbot played last night in Vancouver. Nilsson's won 6 of his last 9 starts. And no surprise at the other end for the Calgary Flames. Kari Ramos' 21st start in the last 24 games, stopped 19 of 20 in a 4-1 win against Winnipeg on Tuesday. Taylor Hall's been outstanding against the Flames this season. He's been outstanding against everybody this year, but 6 points for Hall in the 2 meetings already. And we're underway in Calgary. Sekera back to the puck. Hall, Purcell, Draisaitl, top line out for the Oilers to start this game as Teddy Purcell brings the puck to center and dumps it in. Draisaitl on the forecheck against Brody, who does a nice job to take the puck away. TJ Brody circles the net and fires it out to center ice. There's Joel Colborne on a line with Backlund and Ferland. Brody brings the puck in, a bouncer, he settles it down. Stops along the boards, waiting for support. The Flames are changing as the puck's played up the boards. And Draisaitl gets control and drops it off to Taylor Hall. Bain plays it behind the net. Both teams finish off a change. Line combinations brought to you by Freedom Financial, freedom for life. I'm Rick Ball with Kelly Rudy. Glad to have you with us. First game post-Christmas break for Calgary. The Oilers lost in overtime in Vancouver last night. And there's Johnny Gaudreau. What a roll he's been on. 10-game home win streak for the Flames. He has 20 points coming off a hat trick against the Winnipeg Jets last game, Kelly.
And maybe, along with Patrick Kane, maybe one of the most exciting players in the National Hockey League right now.
And there's Gaudreau kicking the puck off the boards, and he finds Sean Monahan down the wing. Monahan long wrister, glove save Nielsen, and he'll hang on for our first whistle. 1:18 into the opening period.
Players have to gut it out certain times of the season, and that's the case for Todd McLellan, feeling under the weather tonight, so trying to stay there and be strong for his players, but never easy, that's for sure.
Said earlier today, thought the game was a little sloppy last night. They usually are, that first one after Christmas, but felt his team played well enough to win. Had a chance in overtime too, but Sekera couldn't push a puck into an open net. There's a shot. Nielsen bats that out of the air. Sam Bennett picks it up behind the net, knocked away from him. Weidman onto the puck. Back to Bennett. We'll play it towards Granlund. Bennett, Granlund, Raymond on this line. Granlund pinned by Nikitin. There's Mason Raymond to it. Turns away from Letestu, who had the only goal for the Oilers last night. Puck played up the boards, back to the line. Kept alive by Derek Englund. Granlund's pushed off the puck by Nikitin. It goes all the way to the other side. Flames battle, get it back. Wrister by Raymond. And Nielsen gets a beat on that, knocks it down and covers up.
Anders Nielsen, first game since the break, and a little bit too casual by my liking for this little wrister from Mason Raymond. Doesn't really track it all the way, able to recover though. But it's interesting how that first game back after the holidays is so difficult, and I know it doesn't make sense. You've only been off a few days, Rick, but I'll tell you, your eyes just don't see the game quite as quickly as you'd expect.
Jones, Boma staging out there now for Calgary. Puck back to the line. Chris Russell tries the long wrister. Another save by Nielsen, and Stajan pokes at the rebound. That never came. Nielsen covers up, and then Lander steps into Matt Stajan. We'll get a face-off in the Oilers zone once again.
And we take a look at the Pacific Division standings. It's oh so close. You look at number 2 seed Vancouver at 37 points, go all the way down to Edmonton at 36. Even Anaheim not out of it at 33 points. So this is going to be an interesting remaining ballpark 50 games, Rick.
Yeah, it's so tightly packed. And the Flames, by the way, if they win this game tonight, are just 1 point off the pace they had a year ago after 35 games. So after a tough start for Calgary, they're in it. Well, many thought they wouldn't be. Englund's shot never got through. Puck played to the line. Weidman kicks it free with a wrister. Deflected wide of the goal by Lance Boma. Second game of the season for Boma, coming off that broken leg. Second game coming off the broken leg. He suffered in the third of the year. As Lander has the puck at center with Gazdic over the line. He'll backhand it in. There's Derek Englund to it. Gazdic on the forecheck. Puck played to the corner. Lander cut it off there. Gets the puck up the boards. Ferland plays it off the wall, and Weidman feeds it across to Joe Colborne. He'll skate it through center over the line with Ferland. Colborne to the middle. Colborne drop pass, trying to find Backlund just out of his reach. Backlund chases it down though. Popped it up to Darnell Nurse. fine young defenseman, and here come the Oilers out to center ice. Pouliot with the puck. Got it into the zone, not very deep. Flames clear it right back out. Edmonton was in danger of having too many men on the ice, and Nikita Nikitin wisely let that go.
You mentioned Darnell Nurse. Boy, do I love watching that kid play. Just jumps into the play, seemingly always at the right time.
Puck given away at the Calgary line. Long pass, and here goes Gaudreau all by himself down the wing. Johnny Gaudreau with a shot, trying to squeeze that under the arm of Nielsen. He bobbled it for a moment, but is able to cover up for a whistle.
Not a great sight when you're a defenseman and you see the very quick Johnny Gaudreau with that high skill set, and Eric Gryba for that reason just tends to back up on this play. Gives Gaudreau a lot of room, but takes away the angle nicely. And once again, you can see Nielsen just a little bit off tracking there, but not the cleanest saves. I'm sure he'll sharpen up here.
Giordano's shot deflected by Yuri Hudler, and Nielsen makes another save. The Flames have had 5 shots on goal already. Oilers still looking for their first. And back-to-back for Edmonton. They did not skate this morning, arrived late last night. Of course, they lose an hour coming back from Vancouver, so see if they can shake off the tired legs early in this one as that goes up high, and they're going to rule it went out of play. We'll get a face-off back in the neutral zone.
A minute ago, Rick, you mentioned about the Flames, that poor start, but how they battled back. They win tonight, only a point back where they were last year. Well, Bob Hartley this morning was talking about that, and he gives his players all the credit. And he said it's because of their character that we're back in this. And he didn't ever doubt it, but it was not easy to climb back out of that hole that they put themselves in.
There's Schultz in his own zone. Up the boards, puck chipped out by Korpikoski, and away goes Letestu down the wing. This line's been very good for the Oilers. Letestu out there with Hendricks and Korpikoski. As the puck gets past the point, back to the Edmonton blue line. Dustin Schultz. Korpikoski fires it in and around. Hendricks chasing it down. Watched by Derek Englund, who took his feet out. Hendricks back on his feet, kicking the puck up the boards. Englund's dropped his stick. Puck comes back to the line. Nurse with a shot. That hit Korpikoski's stick and never got through to the goal. Schultz works it down the boards. Bumped in the corner by Sam Bennett. Puck goes behind the net to Matt Hendricks. He's tied up by Weidman. Bennett lifts Hendricks' stick. Finds Granlund, who brings the puck out. Backwards. Fires it in. Both teams finish off a change. As the Oilers control the puck. Nurse, Purcell. And away he goes. Flips it in. Draisaitl trying to catch up to it. They're going to blow it down. Offside, the call against the Oilers.
One of the things you have to do is remind young players that you can still be effective if you're not getting points. And that's the case with Sam Bennett. Good on the forecheck. Takes the body on Darnell Nurse. Nicely done. And then in his own zone, battling Justin Schultz for the puck. And continues to do the good work down low. Ends up coming up with the puck from Hendricks. And that is a good shift, even though there are no points involved, but that's how you have to play the game.
And we see that Granlund line out there against the Draisaitl line. That looks like the matchup that Bob Hartley wants. And of course, his top pairing of Giordano and Brody. And away goes Purcell. Long dump in. There's the first shot for the Oilers. Ramos steers that aside, but given away to Gryba at the line. Trying to flip it towards the goal. Goes off Colborne's stick high in the air over the glass and out of play.
These are your streets. When you love the city loves you back. New Amsterdam Vodka. It's your town.
Talking this morning with Ramo about the benefit of having practice yesterday, and he said that that's far more ideal than not having that day of practice. And he felt for all the goaltenders yesterday in the league that had to do just that. I can go from my own experience. I think I played 15 years in the National Hockey League, probably pulled 14 games on Boxing Day.
Jones with a turnover in the offensive zone, trying to find Russell. It goes off him in behind the net.
Might be exaggerating just a little bit, but you get the point.
We'll get the Elias Sports Bureau to check into that one. But I know, and not only that, the traveling teams have to travel on game day as well on Boxing Day, which is not the norm. Boma trying to get it out front. Eberle takes control and chips the puck outside the zone. Pouliot trying to dump it in, blocked by Dougie Hamilton. Now winds up deep in the Calgary zone, approaching the 6-minute mark of the first period as Ramo plays the puck over to Weidman. Backhand pass, Monahan now. Plays it in, Gaudreau on the forecheck. Fame there first. Secker up the boards, Hendricks with the puck. And he'll work it off the wall and head towards the blue line. Now he feeds it through center. Carried in by Korpikoski. Out of the reach of Letestu, tries to chase it down. Back to the corner. Englund throws a hit on Korpikoski. Schultz kept it in. Lauri Korpikoski down low. Threw it out front. Nobody home. Now Hendricks gets control. Hendricks shot. That's deflected up high. Darnell Nurse into the play. Korpikoski bumped again by Englund. Fed back to the line. Nurse shot blocked. Gaudreau brings it out. Late in the shift, he'll turn back. Looking for a little room, and away he goes. Johnny Gaudreau over the line. Gaudreau trying to work through the D. Can't get it in front of the net. Tried to throw it back out front, hit the back of the goal. Gaudreau got it again. Nurse has lost his stick. Here's TJ Brodie back at the line. Gaudreau still out there. Johnny Gaudreau, high slot. Gaudreau shoots, stopped by Nielsen. Doesn't know where it is. It's under him, and he's able to freeze the puck for a face-off. 13:02 to go in the first. What a shift for Johnny Gaudreau, but we're still scoreless in Calgary. Check our keys to the game, brought to you by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. Kelly.
Just wondering who might have the bigger impact in the outcome of this game. Both players red hot in the month of December. You heard Jeff, John, and Richie talking about that in the opening, how spectacular these players have been this month, and it's just going to be sit back for you and I, relax and enjoy.
Two of the great young stars in the game today. Gaudreau on the bench, Hall out there with Draisaitl and Purcell. And how good have Hall and Draisaitl been together? Draisaitl's more than a point a game. He didn't play the first 10 games, Kelly. Started the season in the minors.
And that's what a lot of people forget, right?
But has been clipping along. In fact, his first 3 games out of that, his foray in the minors were unbelievable with the Oilers, and kept up a torrid pace playing on this line. As Hall has the puck in his own zone. Draisaitl behind the net, drops it off. Todd McLellan comparing him a little bit today to Joe Thornton, of course, very familiar with. 7 years coaching Thornton in San Jose.
Quite the compliment.
Said he's got that ability to fend off defenders with that big frame and handle the puck. Here's Colborne working it back in for Calgary. Joe Colborne across the line, makes a play to Sam Bennett out front. Looking for Backlund, couldn't get a stick to the pass. Chris Russell down the boards. Russell shot off the outside of the goalpost, almost bounced back out front. Secker able to kick it in behind the net. And now Purcell will play it across. Draisaitl still out there. Drops it back to Sekera, and Draisaitl able to head off as Spain banks it back over to his partner. 8 minutes gone. Scoreless first. Giveaway in the offensive zone. Granlund, roller shot wide. Raymond onto the puck. Back up the boards. Mason Raymond back to Russell. Down low for Marcus Granlund. Granlund circles out to the other side. Back of the line to Dougie Hamilton with a shot. That was blocked. Spinorama by Bennett. That deflects high in the air, and Nielsen snags that and hangs on.
Let's finish off this Draisaitl story, and how you mentioned, Rick, he went down to Bakersfield at the start of the season, played 6 games there, missed 10 games with the Oilers, though, came back up and has been so good with this team. The connection that he's had with Taylor Hall and Teddy Purcell as a complementary player on that line as well. So, and they can hardly wait, I'm sure, to get Connor McDavid back, which it sounds like somewhere around the All-Star break.
Yep. Oh, with that broken collarbone, he's skating, but still about a month away. And the Oilers, like every team in the Pacific, still within shouting distance of the playoff spot. There's Korpikoski with a shot. Russell got a stick in the way of that. Korpikoski regains control, spins off the outside of the net. Wrap-around attempt by Hendricks, jams away at the puck. Rabo down, it's still loose. Comes free to the other side. Nikitin lost it for a moment, but got it back. Feeds it behind the net to Hendricks. Hendricks watched closely by Russell. Plays the puck to the corner to Korpikoski. Drops it off for Letestu. Russell knocked down Hendricks. Pass back to Nikitin. Behind the net to Matt Hendricks. Greiber's gone out front. Russell picked off the pass. And he finds room to clear the zone to center. Eberle flips it back in. Nugent Hopkins down the boards. Fires a pass across, out of the reach of Pouliot. He'll pick it up off the wall and work it behind the net. Benoit Pouliot, pocket pick by Russell. And here's Gaudreau. Feeds it over to Weidman. Back to Gaudreau. Back to Weidman. Works it in. Jones goes to the front of the goal. Kicked aside by Nielsen. And the rebound right to Eberle. Oilers back the other way. Nugent Hopkins with speed. Nugent Hopkins with a shot that's blocked by Englund. Played back to Nurse. Darnell Nurse, long wrister, blocked by Stajan. Nugent Hopkins steals, works the puck to the corner, tries to get it out front. Everly cuts behind the net. Pouliot goes out front. Pass didn't get there. Jordan Everly gets it back. Matt Stajan stays close to him and takes the puck away. And then with help from Bomo, they're able to clear the zone. Midway through the first period, shots are 7-2 Calgary. Still scoreless here at Scotiabank Saddledome.
First good of pressure from the Oilers as well.
Taylor Hall gets around Berlin. Hall trying to feed it to Purcell. Brody cut off the pass. Purcell gets the puck in the corner. Pinned by Brody. Taylor Hall back to the line. Sekera played it back to Hall, but he'd gone the other way, and Backlund takes it away. Long pass to Colborne. Joe Colborne over the line, fed it out front. Hall coming back, picked off the pass. And Payne finds Hall up the center ice. Draisaitl, Purcell could be a 2-on-1. Draisaitl to the net, so is Hall. Pass just out of his reach. Hall back to the line. Long shot by Sekera, deflects wide off the stick of Brody. Backlund trying to chop it past Gryba, won't let him. Puck goes behind the net. Giordano onto it, and he'll settle things down as the Oilers peel off for a change.
Great bit of back checking from Colbert to take away the stick of Hall. He was wide open in the slot.
Long pass to Raymond. Forced back into the zone, almost coughed it up. Brody over to help out. Crowd comes alive. Pass to center. Granlund can't handle it. Here's Gazdic. All by himself, turns to the boards. Granlund knocked it away from Gazdic and clears the zone to center ice. Oilers back in. They have some jump now. Lander out front. Puck tipped on goal. Granlund gets the loose puck. Up the boards to Raymond, and he'll chip it to the line. Not out. Lander. Long shot deflects into the corner. Another shot by Schultz goes wide of the goal. And Edmonton now with a lot of pushback the last few shifts. Gazdic. Good fourth line shift here. Schultz fires it across. Darnell Nurse. Wrister blocked by Brody. Luke Gazdic onto the puck again. Up the boards. Brody trying to knock it away from him. Can't do it. Bennett gets control. Kicks the puck outside the zone.
Sustained pressure by the Oilers. Flames needed a change.
12 minutes gone. First period. Kopitarski banks it in. Russell back. Backhand pass. Yuri Hudler. Out to Gaudreau, tips it across. Puck bounces into the zone, batted out to the neutral zone by Edmonton. Flames regroup as Weidman controls. Now Gaudreau, and away he goes. Johnny Gaudreau out to center ice. Lost the puck at the line. Darnell Nurse feeds it ahead. Letestu gave it away to Monahan. And once again, here goes Gaudreau. Weidman's up on the rush. There's the pass to Weidman. Backhand pass out front. Monahan couldn't get there. Pouliot banks that off the glass and out. A long stretch without a whistle here. Still waiting for our first goal in Calgary. Oilers back in. Pouliot cuts to the middle. Left the puck behind though. And then hits Weidman hard to the boards. He falls awkwardly. Looks like he's okay. And the Flames find room to bank it off the stick of Payne and out. Here's Stajan down the wing. Oilers take it away. Eberle on the counter over the line. Jordan Eberle beats the puck to Pouliot. Across. Sekera. Shot. Never got it through. Off the leg of Hamilton, who winds up with the puck and finds some space to lift it high and down the ice. No icing. Both teams changing. 5-minute stretch without a whistle. Still scoreless as the Oilers work it out. Gryba ahead to Hall. Taylor Hall down the wing. Long shot. Rommel turned that aside with the stick. Joe Colborne winds up with control, and away he goes. 3 Flames through center. Colborne cuts to the middle. Drop pass. Backlund to the slot with a shot. That goes off a stick high and wide. Ferland behind the net. Colborne's gone out front. So is Backlund. Pass back to Brody. Backlund actually got in the way of that. Brody picks it up on the far side. Joe Colborne now in the corner. Watched by Nikitin. Colborne turning. Nikitin stays on him. Good work by Nikitin. Draisaitl comes over to help. He'll play the puck to Gryba. Cut off by Backlund, who steals. Backlund, Brody, shot stop. Brody threw it out front. The pass blocked on a good defensive play by Draisaitl. Not out of trouble yet. Raymond pressuring. So is Sam Bennett. Puck in the corner. Mason Raymond got it away from Nikitin. Here's Bennett down low. Trying to come up front. Couldn't get a shot away. Now he does. Nielsen now makes a save with the right pad. And he covers up for a whistle. 5.5 to go in the first. Chances at both ends. We're still scoreless. Flames, Oilers on Sportsnet.
Taylor Hall known for his offensive abilities, but what a great play defensively. Communication the key on this play. I've got Ferland, no worries, guys. Accidentally knocks a stick out of the hands of Nikitin, gives him his stick now. Better option. And then Sam Bennett, we talked about in the first period, really good play without a scoring chance. How about that offensive play? And Nielsen with a better save.
Face-off win for Station. Shot by England, whistles wide. Puck bounces along the boards to Weidman. Try to feed it down low. Broken up by Darnell Nurse. There's David Jones onto it. Bumped by Schultz. Korpikoski, nice play back to Schultz and feed it ahead. Tipped out by Hendricks. Letestu trying to work it in. Eric Englund hustles over to the loose puck around the boards to Jones. And he feeds the puck to Matt Stajan. And away he goes. Stajan through center. Slides the puck in. Battling Korpikoski. Schultz ran into Jones. Puck played up the wall and it slides away from Englund, who had to retreat out to the neutral zone. And a 6-minute and 10-second stretch before that break without a whistle. Shots are 9-5 Calgary. As Darnell Nurse goes back to the puck. 7th overall pick in 2013. Lander chips it out. Russell gets there first. And Granlund banks it to Raymond. Raymond tried to play it across. Pass was blocked. Lander dumps it back in for the Oilers. Kari Ramos sweeps it over to Russell. Pride of Caroline, Alberta gets the puck off the boards and out. Mason Raymond from Cochrane able to get it in. Plays it deep. Sekera watched by Bennett. Raymond comes in as well, but puck comes up the boards to Gazdic. And the big man played it out to center. Lander couldn't take it off his skate. Flames regroup back in their own zone. Approaching the 16-minute mark of the first. Drew down a long pass to Hoodler. Monahan knocked it down. Bumped in the corner by Payne. Gaudreau in to help out. Lost it behind the net. Schultz takes control. Popped it up. Gaudreau tried to throw it out front for Monahan. Fan on the pass. And here's Eberle back the other way with Pouliot and Nugent Hopkins. Eberle, a nice move on the backhand with a shot. They score! Pouliot with a tip in. And the Oilers take a 1-0 lead.
And it seemed more like a broken play. Oilers like this line, especially like scoring chances off the rush. They're going to enter the zone here, but nothing's really happening. Good back pressure from the Flames, and Jordan Eberle just throws it with a soft little backhand in front. But give Pouliot credit. He goes to the front of the net, gets body position, and he's able to deflect that past Kari Ramo, but not much happening on that play. I thought the play, in fact, was dead, but give Eberle credit going to his backhand and throw it to the front of the net.
Pouliot gets his 6th of the season, and the Oilers draw first blood in round 3 of the Battle of Alberta. And here goes Taylor Hall, offside at the Calgary blue line. 3:29 left first period. Benoit Pouliot makes it 1-0 Edmonton on Sportsnet.
And don't forget to play Safeway's $1 Million Score and Win. If any Flames player scores 5 times in tonight's game, Cheryl Sheardown of Calgary could win $1 million. Shop at Safeway. You could be our next lucky winner right here on Sportsnet.
All right, Kelly, let's take one more look at that goal by Benoit Pouliot. Nice tip in front of the Calgary net.
Yeah, great hand-eye coordination in front. It's not an easy deflection by any means. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins on that point. First point for him in the last 5 games.
Got the second assist. Eberle with the first, and the Oilers on top. 3.5 to go. First period of play. Backlund for the Flames. Bank pass. Colborne tipped it in. Darnell Nurse to it. Pressured by Backlund. The puck for Draisaitl. Popped it up to Backlund under pressure from Michael Ferland. Now the Oilers get it back. Giordano stands his ground. Draisaitl will drop it back one more time. And this time it's banked out. And Hall trying to get away from Brody. Couldn't do it as Brody gets the puck. Has to wait. Colborne was caught offside. Hall gets the puck now. Bumped. Sam Bennett knocked him off the play. Hall didn't like that, but he lets to turn back and head off on a change. Here's Granlund. Down the wing with speed. Granlund cuts behind the net. Marcus Granlund bumped by Nurse. Hendricks. Korpikoski. Letestu with Hendricks. Knocked off Letestu's stick by Hamilton. They go into the corner. Chris Russell gets control. Flames defenseman long pass to Granlund, and he'll try and dump it in. Couldn't. Batted away by Nikitin. Bennett plays it deep. Both teams are changing. Now it's a big night tonight in this building because it's got to be, Kelly. Louis DeBrusk is here.
Oh, I love it.
He'll be joining Roger Millions in between periods, as well as the thoughts of the panel. Coming up in a couple of minutes. Pouliot, the goal scorer, knocked down. Here's Eberle trying to get the puck. Turns in the corner. Pouliot's lost his helmet. They battle with Boma. They're both helmetless now. Nugent Hopkins. Pouliot scores! No helmet. No problem. 2-0 Oilers.
I said when this line scored their first goal of the game, they usually like to score on the rush. Not on this one. This is just good down-low play. Flame zone, big battle right there with Boma and Pouliot. Pouliot's able to get up, though, and quickly go to the front of the net. And Ryan Nugent-Hopkins with those quick hands. And that's just good down-low play by the Oilers. Pouliot stick on the ice, nice target. Now, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, pointless in previous 5 games, 2 points now. That being the primary assist, and the Oilers up 2-0.
Eberle got the other helper. Pouliot with 2 goals, 7 now on the year, and Edmonton with a good second half of the first period. The Flames had all the jump in the opening 10 minutes. The Oilers have the only 2 goals. Here comes Draisaitl into the zone. Purcell, checked by Brody. Woodward tied up along the boards. Draisaitl across, gave it away to Gaudreau. Will carry out Johnny Gaudreau through center. Brody joins the rush. Pass didn't get there. Roller. Gaudreau trying to fish it free. Here's Brody on the backhand. Doesn't have a shot. Trying to make a play as he was falling. He chops it. Hall back out at center ice as Purcell works the puck in. Here's Hall. Hall. Shot. Goes off the leg of Giordano wide of the goal.
There's one that
Final minute of play of the first. Sean Monahan. Nielsen out to stop him. Schultz. Letestu. Hendricks. Gets around Backlund. Dumps it in. Chris Russell. Off the boards. Letestu cut it off. Coburn got it out to Ferland. Backlund. Ferland. Couldn't take the pass. Nice job by Schultz to get his stick in there. Puck played back to Hamilton. Fake the shot. Backlund in the corner. Ferland goes out front. Backlund. Russell hopped away. Kept it in though. Backlund. Ferland. Ferland. Backhand. Nielsen save. Rebound. Nielsen brings it back in and covers up with 15.9 to go.
Interesting first period, as you said, Rick. The Flames had the jump, and then the sustained pressure from the Oilers for about 5 minutes kind of evened out a little bit, and then just in the last 2 minutes it has been the Oilers, and they are feeling it right now. You see Taylor Hall with that nice little toe drag a second ago. Shot never got through to Ramo, but it's an Oilers team that's energized after that first 10-minute bit of a sluggish start. Pretty understandable after the travel day they would have had yesterday, including into the morning here.
Lander wins the draw, but the Flames steal the puck. Here's Hoodler, cut off by Fane. Puck up the boards to Hall. Gave it away to Brody. Brody tried a shot, that didn't work. And Hall to center as time winds down. Long shot at the horn, turned aside by Ramo, and the first period comes to an end. So that line of Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Jordan Eberle, and Benoit Pouliot, who scored both goals, doing the damage for the Oilers. They lead the Flames 2-0 after 20 minutes. Back to the studio once again. Here's Jeff Merrick.
Back in Calgary, the Oilers enjoying a 2-0 lead after 20 minutes of play. And speaking of the Oilers, Oiler television analyst Louis DeBrusk has popped down all 2.5 hours here in Calgary to join us. What happened in period one? All Calgary for 8 minutes and then all Oilers.
It really was, and when you look at the start of the period, the Flames came out and did exactly what they wanted to do. They controlled play, they were the aggressors, they turned pucks over, and they were getting shots. I believe it was 6-1 after 7 minutes, but then something started to change. It all started with a third line shift by the third line of Edmonton, controlling the puck in the offensive zone. We're going to show a couple little things. Early in the game, this is what Oilers were doing, turning pucks over. You don't want to do this when Johnny Gaudreau is on the ice. Look who's up the ice. Next thing you know, goes into the offensive zone. This guy's dangerous off the rush. He wants to create that way. But Edmonton started getting to the drawing board. They started to get pucks in deep. They started to hold on to pucks. More importantly, they started to go to the net. They started to create that screen. This is another battle level here for Pouliot. Early on, he was dishing pucks away. He was giving it up. Then he started to win battles, and he eventually finds his way opening in front of the net. 2 goals for him. You know, he's a prime example of a guy that turned things around the first period for Edmonton, and that's why it started to sway for the Oilers.
Well, these teams are anxious to get back at it for the second period. Rick and Kelly, it's yours.
All right, Roger, Louis, thank you very much. Pouliot's goals coming a minute 50 seconds apart in that first period, and that's where we stand as we get set for the start of the second. The Oilers with a 2-0 lead. As Brody plays the puck to Colborne. Cross-ice pass, broken up by Purcell. Here goes Hall. Hall, Purcell. Back for Hall, but Giordano got there first, and out comes Backlund. Ferland and Brody with him on the rush. Good work by Draisaitl coming back to break up the entry, and now Colborne follows up. Ferland just able to get back on side as Colborne works the puck around. Joe Colborne across the line. Drops it off dangerously, hands it away to Purcell. Hall trying to join him on a 2-on-1. Giordano hustles back. Weak shot from the far side, misses the net. Good work by Mark Giordano on one of the better skaters in the league, Taylor Hall, to get back, and Hall at the end of his shift is heading to the bench now.
And that might be an understatement, one of the better skaters. Taylor Hall's like a rocket ship out there.
Late in his shift, Gaudreau works the puck through center now for Calgary. Here he goes into the zone. Johnny Gaudreau drops it off. Hoodler, shot deflected. Nugent Hopkins got a stick in the way of that one. Puck up the boards. Pouliot. 11th career 2-goal game for him. Long shot, glove save Ramo, and he hangs on. Well, Louis DeBrusque was joining Roger in between periods. A former Oiler. There it is, Kelly.
I like it.
Who was that good-looking dude? His rookie card.
And he was traded for Mark Messier. Going over to the Oilers. A really cool story.
The Oilers won that trade, didn't they?
Yes, exactly. Well, really cool story, too, happening yesterday. The DeBrusque's son, Jake, first rounder from Boston last summer, traded from Swift Current to Red Deer, so he's going to be in the Memorial Cup this year. By the way, Red Deer beat the Edmonton Oil Kings today 5-4, and Jake had a goal and an assist. And that, of course, the Memorial Cup is going to be hosted in Red Deer with friends of mine, Brent and Connie Sutter, former teammates of mine in New York.
We saw on the back of that card the numbers. Louis was a 31 goal scorer last year in junior hockey in the Western League.
All-around good guy.
Pouliot in, shot, stopped. Ramo hangs on. We get a whistle. Minute 31 gone in the second period.
Pouliot now at 7 goals after that 2-goal first period, and this is a guy that there's no question about it. He has great skill set, and he's got to find a way to power through this start of the season where coming into tonight with 5 goals, it's not what he expected, not what the Oilers needed, but he is a game changer.
Hendricks wins the draw. Greiba tried a shot. That was blocked by Raymond, and away he goes trying to chase it down. Raymond will get there first, takes off the ice and call. Leaves the puck for Sam Bennett. Bennett threw it out front. Nice job there by Nielsen to cut off the pass with his stick and hang on for a whistle.
Bennett has great energy tonight. It goes back into that first period and showed you some of his excellent work. He was just all around the net. Good puck possession, good on the forecheck. In his own zone, he was strong. And then lastly, good scoring opportunity. Nielsen with a better save. Great hit by Bennett on Hall. But he's been a little ball of energy tonight.
Face-off win again for Hendricks. Puck to the line. Letestu got it out. Raymond trying to dump it back in. Bain. Hendricks. And then Bain's hit by Sam Bennett, who drove him right into the Edmonton goal as the Oilers iced the puck. That was in behind the play. Some more physical play by number 93 for Calgary.
Bain might be arguing that it might have been interference. We'll get a look at it again, but as we talked about, No, that's just a good hit. There's no question about it. Bennett just surveying the land, figuring out, hey, there's an opportunity to throw my weight around, and he has been a really impactful player so far. 2 minutes into the second period.
So the Oilers, who were being badly outshot in the first half of the first period, are now even on shots on goal with the Flames at 10 apiece. Here's Gaudreau. Gaudreau, pass out front, deflected by Fane. And Letestu will skate it over the line, chip it ahead, and the Oilers able to change after the icing call as Russell goes back to it. Chris Russell. Lifts it high into the zone. Sekera hard up the boards for Purcell. Puck comes outside the line. Hoodler had it taken away by Draisaitl. Brody gains control, flips it ahead. Darnell Nurse settles it down. Draisaitl. Head up. Nice pass to Hall. Hall with Purcell. Hall. Purcell. Stopped by Ramo. Good job by Purcell to bat that pass out of the air and on goal. Ramo made a save with the right pad. And that all started with a great pass out of the zone. There's Backlund working it back for Calgary. Michael Backlund turning just inside the line. Colborne. Brody. No traffic, so he'll work it down the boards. Brody up front. Gaudreau scores! Great setup by TJ Brody. Johnny Gaudreau cuts the lead to 2-1.
But prior to the goal from the Flames, what a stretch pass from Draisaitl right up the middle of Taylor Hall, tape to tape, and he spots Purcell. Nice save by Ramos, so it stays a 2-0 game. And then the Flames, TJ Brody just creates so many opportunities from his skating, leaves his point position, goes behind and spots a wide open Johnny Gaudreau, but scoring chances at both ends of the ice. And this is what we expected in tonight's game.
Brody and Colborne with the assists on Gaudreau, 16th of the season.
16th of the year. Scored by number 13, Johnny.
There's Nugent Hopkins. Hamilton breaks up that pass. Colborne bats the puck into the zone.
TJ Brody. And Joe Colborne. Time to the goal, 310.
Schultz. Head up, skates the puck out.
Colborne. Time to the goal, 310.
Played it in. Nugent Hopkins threw it out front. Pouliot stopped by Ramo as Pouliot looking for his hat trick goal. Stoned by Kari Ramo and he's able to cover up.
If you watch the Oilers game last night versus Vancouver, you saw a lot of this. Justin Schultz leading the rush in a beautiful take-to-take play right here to Nugent Hopkins and Pouliot right in front. That's the one thing about Justin Schultz. When he's feeling it, he is a very good mover of the puck. And didn't see as many examples of it in the first period, but I'm sure you'll get to play like you did last night in Vancouver.
Season high, 27 minutes and 12 seconds of ice time for Schultz last night in Vancouver.
Nurse at 25.
Statistician Dave Moyer telling us that if Pouliot scores a hat-trick goal, it'll be the first Oiler hat-trick against Calgary since Alexander Selivanov, April 8th of 2000. Believe it or not. The Flames have other ideas, obviously, as Nikitin can't keep the puck on side. And that line of Nugent Hopkins, Eberle, and Pouliot has been outstanding so far in this game, and that close to making it 3-1. All right, on behalf of Safeway Score and Win and Mott's Garden Cocktail, Helena Pamelia of Cochran has won a Husqvarna high-wheel push mower. Congratulations, Helena.
Johnny Gaudreau does such a great job of finding that soft area and not calling attention to himself. That's one of the things sometimes you see players slapping their stick on the ice, and that alerts the defensive squad that, hey, I'm wide open right here.
Oilers win the draw. Sekera shot deflected on goal. Nice stop by Ramo on the redirection by Korpikoski. Ramo out of the goal. There's the puck to Chris Russell. Nice Mason Raymond on the right side. Try to feed it in for Granlund through the middle. That's offside. Late whistle, but clearly that puck brought an offside by Calgary. 4.5 minutes gone here in the second.
Even strength points scored at home. Johnny Gaudreau leading the National Hockey League, and that's a pretty impressive leaderboard, so that just tells you how great he's been here. And Rick, we've been lucky. We get to watch most of these games, and he is just so dynamic, and he does it in so many different ways. You heard John Shannon in the opening talking about tempo, and does it that way. When he needs to, he can slow the game down.
Stolen by Raymond, drops it off to Sam Bennett. He's had a strong game tonight. Bennett tied up by Hendricks. Bennett works away from Hendricks. Sam Bennett banks the puck to Raymond, back to Bennett. Bennett, shot wide. May have gone off the leg of Bain. Good work by Sam Bennett on that shift. Stays on the puck in the corner with some help there as he chips it free. Bennett trying to feed it out front. Puck deflects to the crease. Poked on goal, and Nielsen's able to keep it out as the Oilers wire that around the glass and down the ice. And we'll wave off icing. Johnny Gaudreau loves playing here in Calgary. Getting back to that thought, 14 of his 16 goals this season have been at Scotiabank Saddledome. I mentioned this 10-game home ice win streak. He has 20 points. 21 the last 10 games in a period and a bit on home ice. That line back on the ice again is Hudler. Knocks it free to Monahan. Gaudreau's out front. Hudler too with a shot off the shoulder of Nielsen. Good position to make that save. Here's Gaudreau. I'll make that Hudler off the boards. There's Gaudreau. Brody stopped by Nielsen. What a save, Anders Nielsen, as the Flames come that close to tying the game. Wow.
Fantastic anticipation from Nielsen, recognizing that it might be Brody that's the most dangerous, even though the Flames are in tight. And outstretched glove hand, 6'5", certainly helps. And that is just the save of the game by a mile. And what a reaction from Brody. Are you kidding me?
So Brody sets up Gaudreau. Gaudreau tries to return the favor, and Nielsen says no.
That's a nice dilemma for the Oilers right now. They have both Talbot and Nielsen playing extremely well.
Nielsen has won 6 of his last 9 starts. Talbot's coming around, as you mentioned, Kelly. I thought he was pretty good last night in Vancouver.
Agreed.
He lost that game.
Agreed.
Joe Colborne. Long pass just out of the reach of Backlund. Brody onto it. Nice tip pass to Backlund. He'll bring it in. Backlund shot, knocked down by Nielsen. Clive onto the rebound. Feathers one through to Nugent Hopkins. Pass deflected. Eberle couldn't get it. Brody takes control for Calgary. Retreating. Flips it out. And Backlund got it in. Chase after it. Greiba there first. Some thought that he might not play tonight. Brad Hunt recalled today from the AHL, but didn't make it here in time, so Nikitin in the lineup. And a tough year for him.
Yeah, he really struggled last night as well.
Here comes Gaudreau with some speed. Johnny Gaudreau with a shot, stopped by Nielsen. Puck's been popping out of that glove, but he's making the saves. Here goes Hall. Draisaitl's out front. Hall picks the puck up in the corner. Works it up the boards. Taylor Hall back to the line, fed across. Russell blocked the pass, and the puck hops all the way back to the Edmonton blue line. Past the 7-minute mark of the second. Draisaitl, nice pass to Hall. Taylor Hall, pass out front. Wobble turned to the side. Draisaitl out-muscles Russell. And then stick lifted on a good play by Monahan. Away goes Sean Monahan with Gaudreau and Hudler. Monahan shot up high again. Nielsen can't hang on to that puck. Draisaitl kept on side at the point by Giordano. Spain up the boards. Brody cut it off. Nice move by Brody off the wall. Mark Giordano with the puck. Giordano shoots. Kick save by Nielsen. Flames got it back. Handed away. Purcell feeds it across. Hall late in the shift. Gains center and dumps the puck in. TJ Brody. Long pass through center. Boma chips it over the line. Schultz chopped it away. Following up his match stage. And down the wing with a shot. And this time Nielsen is able to hang on for a whistle. 12:05 to go. Second period, Johnny Gaudreau has the Flames on the board, but it's still 2-1 Oilers.
CP Rail Goals for Kids is proudly sponsored by Canadian Pacific and its 2,700 railroaders based in Calgary. For every Flames goal this season, the Railway will donate $250 to Kids Sport and the Flames Even Strength program. Keep scoring Flames help CP build stronger kids and stronger communities.
Thank you, Roger. Johnny Gaudreau, 16th of the season. The Flames trail the Oilers 2-1. Maybe tied if not for that spectacular save by Anders Nilsson off TJ Brody moments ago. That was something. Face-off win for Granlund. Weidman pulled with the forehand but lost the puck. Dennis Weidman didn't skate this morning. In the lineup, obviously, Sam Bennett. He's had a strong game, got a weak backhand away. Wraparound attempt, Nielsen makes the save, but a penalty coming up to the Oilers. And the Flames will get the first power play of the game.
Protect your engine in temperatures as low as 40 below with Mobil 1 Advanced Fuel Economy. Mobil 1. Energy lives here.
Justin Schultz going to the penalty box, 2 minutes for hooking. And there's no question he gets a stick in on Bennett behind the net, so the Flames go on the power play.
Yeah, power play, Kelly, that has goals in back-to-back games. It's still last in the NHL, but it is improving, and Bob Hartley has to be happy with what he's seeing. And it's not just that they've scored a couple of goals, they're getting better looks too, Kelly, and that's really been happening the last 4 or 5 games.
Well, they put in a lot of time and effort and video work in trying to make this turn around for them because it has been a sore spot. No question about that.
Oilers' penalty kill was mid-pack in the league at 81.7%. They win the face-off. And Nurse has lots of time and a room to fire it all the way down the ice. And one of the things the Flames have been doing better, one of the reasons why their power plays look better, is they've been winning more face-offs on the power play, although that was not the case there. Here comes Gaudreau. Now Hoodler. Wobbled the pass. Gryba wires that around. Weidman hustles over. Good play to keep it onside. They'll set it up. Monahan. Down low for Hoodler. Gaudreau. Monahan. Gaudreau. Weidman winds up, shoots wide, bounces out front. And it wound up going underneath the goaltender Nielsen. He's able to cover up and hang on with 1:18 left in the penalty.
Lively boards here, and Nielsen giving a bit of a problem. Dennis Weidman with the shot, and it's deflected from Nielsen, comes right back through his legs. How about the little battle between Johnny Gaudreau and Taylor Hall? And I like the officials let that go. Neither of them were involved in the play. Let them play a little bit of hockey, and that's what it's all about.
Oilers, good job to get that puck off the face-off, and it's wired around the boards and down the ice by Andrej Sekera. The Flames have to go back to their own zone. 9 minutes gone, second period. Calgary, you mentioned a while ago the Oilers have pulled even in shots. Since then, it's been all Flames firing shots at the Edmonton net as they work it into the power play. Top unit still out there, but Woodler had his pocket picked, and it's fired down the ice. The Flames have had 9 of the last 10 shots on goal and are out shooting Edmonton 22-14. The Oilers still lead 2-1. 40 seconds left in the power play. Second unit on for the Flames. Hamilton hot around. Sekera behind the net, up the boards. Hamilton will try and keep it in and does. And then gave it away. Good work there by Nugent Hopkins. He's having a strong game to steal the puck and dump it down the ice. Mark Giordano. Mason Raymond. Raymond. Up the boards to Backlund. Tied up by Gryba. Puck comes free. Korpikoski with room. Skates it out shorthanded. And chips it in, and that will do it. As Rommel's out of the goal, penalty winding down, and Schultz out of the box. Just one shot of the power play. Here come the Flames, though. Raymond, drop pass. Giordano out front for Backlund, broken up. Nice play, Draisaitl. Breakaway, Purcell. Teddy Purcell scores! And the Oilers restore their 2-goal lead.
And a bad giveaway by the Flames in the offensive zone. Draisaitl's just waiting for this. He recognized what's going to happen. A nice little touch pass to Hall. Another touch pass to Purcell. Quick little hands, freezes Rommel, goes 5-hole. But that's all because of the defensive positioning from Draisaitl. Beautiful composure from Purcell, head up. That's a terrific set of hands.
9th of the season for Purcell. Hall and Draisaitl get the assists. 3-1 Edmonton. So they kill the penalty and moments later scoring a breakaway. Past the midway mark of the second period, Chris Russell with control, and here's Brody. Staging, Jones winds up, shoots, stop, big rebound, and away goes Draisaitl with Hall. Draisaitl over the line. Big German forced to the corner by Hall, plays it behind the net to Eberle on the near side. Back to the line. Sekera, wrister, turned aside by Ramo. Nugent Hopkins off the bench, gets the rebound. Drop pass, Eberle. Nugent Hopkins. Pouliot to Sekera. Another wrist shot off the stick of Jones over the glass, out of play. 8:46 to go. Second period. Teddy Purcell on the breakaway, and the Oilers with a 3-1 lead on Sportsnet.
We'd like to remind you that Safeway's featured participating product for tonight's game is Mott's Garden Cocktail. What does hockey mean to your All-Star family? Share your story, and you and your family can win a trip for the 2016 Honda NHL All-Star Weekend in Nashville. Learn more at Rogers.com/NHL All-Star.
That won't be any fun.
Why was I thinking the exact same thing?
Not much to do in that town.
Not to mention the change in the format, too, which should be kind of interesting.
I'm looking forward to that.
Same.
There's a bank pass off the side of the goal that's chipped back to the line. Bain keeps it in. Oilers up 3-1. Nugent Hopkins. I think Johnny Gaudreau will look in that 3-on-3 format. Wow. Shot by Sekera, whistles wide. Russell chips it up the wall. Sekera pinches. Russell got it back. Tries the other side. Boma is able to get it past the point, back to the Oilers zone.
Right behind you, right behind you, right behind you.
Long pass, Pouliot tipped it in. And then knocked it down. Here's Pouliot. Sharp angle shot blocked by Russell. Once again leads the league in that category. Chris Russell does. Colborne took a bunt from Paparine, and now we've got a holding penalty up, and Joe Colborne doesn't like the call, but the Oilers with a 2-goal lead look like they're going on the power play.
That's about as animated as you'll get Colborne argue a call. And there's just a collision right there, and he gets called for holding the stick. It kind of got caught under his arm. That's what he is arguing. The officials see it differently.
So the Oilers power play 23rd in the NHL, has been in a bit of a dry spell. 1-for-16 over the last 6 games. Hendricks battling Backlund on the faceoff. Scramble draw. Purcell gets the puck to Hall. Hall, Hendricks, Purcell, Draisaitl, and Schultz on the power play for the Oilers. And Purcell, good work to keep it in. He hands it away. There's Backlund short-handed, but Purcell hustles back and breaks it up. And they're going to say that's offside against the Flames.
Great determination by Purcell to get back. He tried to throw that deeper into the Flames zone, and fairly careless play, but he is so determined to make sure that Backlund doesn't get a breakaway on him. And that is typical of a player that gives a puck away. He will race back to ensure that the other team does not get a scoring opportunity.
That guy's always the fastest man in the building. Oilers have only given up one shorthanded goal this season. The Flames have none. As Schultz brings it out of his own zone. Now Purcell, Draisaitl. Hall, Draisaitl settled down the pass. Puts the puck to the corner. Granlund got it away, and here's Brody. Out to Stajan, could be a 3-on-1. Short-handed, Granlund and Brody with Stajan. Granlund, stop! Rebound! Stajan, stop! Scores! Well, that's not how you draw it up, but the Flames have their first shorthanded goal of the season and cut the Oilers' lead to 3-2.
Taylor Hall may have made a mistake here going for the big hit. He goes after Brody and just misses, and away the Flames go. Setting up, terrific save by Nielsen. Let's see if there might be a high stick. That is awfully close. That angle doesn't give us the best look. Just a battle in front. Oh, that angle looks pretty good to me. It looks as though the puck could come down about 3 feet. And if that's going to stand, that's the Flames' first shorthanded goal.
And that's Stajan's second of the season. And it's a good goal.
So difficult to tell from the press box here live if that's not a high stick or if that's a good goal. And
well, Justin Schultz made a remarkable play to stop that first chance after Nielsen made the initial save, but staging good eye-hand coordination to bat the second one in. Granlund and Brody get the assists. 2 helpers for Brody tonight. Letestu, shot, pad save, Ramo, rebound, chipped high off a stick. Russell hard up the boards and down the ice. 35 seconds left in the Edmonton power play. Here's Letestu, his pass into the skates of the Flame. And away they go again. Stage it once more with Granlund and Giordano this time. Stage it, hard pass out of the reach of Giordano. An edge in the corner. Fans thought he might have been tripped. Officials don't agree. And here's Everly out of the zone. 5 seconds left in the penalty to Colborne. Offside against the Oilers. Next score and win winner, courtesy of Safeway, a Mott's Garden Cocktail, is Jerry Gummo of Red Deer, who's won the Lagostina 8-piece cookware set. Congratulations, Jerry.
And under these conditions, it's not easy to have the patience that Matt Stajan shows when the puck is up in the air. It's about 1.5 feet above the crossbar, and yet he's patient enough for it to come down to the proper height. It's so tempting. We've seen it so many times over the years. The guy just can't resist the urge to go after the puck.
One shot for the Oilers in that power play, and they give up the short-handed goal. Here's Brody with a long pass, intercepted. Taylor Hall plays it across. Purcell. Hoodler tied up. Up comes free to Gaudreau. Pocket pick by Draisaitl. Bank pass Nurse to Hall. Back to Schultz. Up to Draisaitl. Bobbles the puck. Got it in. Played it across to Purcell. Purcell gets around Brody on the backhand. Stopped by Ramo. Purcell gets the puck back. Pass out front. Blocked by Brody. Russell off the boards to Gaudreau. Tipped it back to Monahan. And here's Jiri Hoodler. Down the wing into the zone. Monahan back for Gaudreau. Couldn't get there. Intercepted. Lander now. Gets the puck over the line. That comes to Ramo with pressure bearing down at the Calgary net. He's able to cover up. 5:02 to go. Second period. Matt Stajan, Calgary's first shorthanded goal this season. 3-2 Oilers. 5:02 to go in the second period. Oilers 3, Flames 2. I'm Rick Ball with Kelly Rudy, Roger Millions, Louis DeBrusk. We'll hear from Louis coming up in the intermission, as well as the panel. Jeff Merrick, John Shannon, and Rich Sutter. Been a fun game, Kelly.
It really has. Developing story, I'd say, as the Draisaitl line with Hall and Purcell starting to take over the game.
Here's Nikitin trying to get out front, knocked off his stick, roller to Gazdic. Tried the wraparound. Weidman got in the way of that one. And Sam Bennett finds Mason Raymond. Raymond gets around Nikitin with a nice play. Raymond to the corner. Looking out front, played the puck towards Bennett, but out of his reach. Gazdic able to take it away easily and clear the zone. And onto it now. Macarena with a shot. Stopped. Rebound. Knocked away by Weidman last second. Great chance there for the Oilers' fourth line. Keaton back to it. Hit by Bennett. Backlund cuts off that clear out. Raymond. Backhand. Wide. Gets it back. Penalty coming up to the Oilers. Backlund. Ferland's out front. Backlund checked by Letestu. Still battling, and now they touch the puck. And the Flames will get their second power play.
Matt Hendricks is going to the penalty box. 2 minutes for slashing. And he was not happy with the call either. Gets right in the bottom hand of Mason Raymond. He argued for a couple of minutes with the official.
Flames are 0 for 1. One shot. The good news is Hendricks in the penalty box and can't win the face-off on the penalty kill if you're a Flames fan. Monahan facing off against Letestu. Monahan, Hoodler, Gaudreau, and they win the draw. Weidman and Brody on the points. Johnny Gaudreau. Weidman, shot, tipped wide. Puck goes high in the air off the glass, stays in play. Nurse chops it up the boards. Brody hustles back. Monahan, shot, stopped, rebound, bouncing in the air, swatted aside by Darnell Nurse, and he fires it all the way down the ice. Jay Brody. 2 helpers already tonight. Over the line. Knocked away. Flames have to regroup in the neutral zone. Woodler. Cross for Brody. Has to hurry. Good work by Fain to get there first and chop that high and out. Dennis Wideman out of his own end. Woodler over the line. Back for Wideman. He'll set it up. Giordano, one-timer, scores! Flames captain Mark Giordano ties the game at 3.
And for the Flames, it's all about their entry. And they've been working diligently on that in practice as well. Just a nice little chip back to Wideman. Giordano with a hard blast. Nielsen looked at Sekera for a second there afterwards. I'm not sure if he was partially screened from his defenseman. Nonetheless, that is an extremely hard one-timer from Giordano. Did not give Nielsen a lot of time to get set.
8th of the season for Mark Giordano. 4 points from the Calgary blue line tonight. And that's been a major theme, Kelly, in their resurgence this season compared to the start of the year. Such a big factor in their surprise season last year was the offensive production from the back end. Didn't start that way this season, but it certainly has been going that way lately as the play is blown dead on a hand pass. While by shopping at Safeway, Tasha Casey of Calgary's won an Auric Pro Shield Next Air Purifier courtesy of Safeway and Mott's Garden Cocktail.
And to your point, Rick, Giordano was talking about that this morning, that one of the problems early on in the season, they were trying way too hard to create offense and trying to get things if it wasn't there, and now they're a lot more patient and just letting the play develop.
Joe Colborne works it in. Lost the puck, trying to poke it back to the point. Purcell cut it off. Justin Schultz pressured in the corner. Ferland winds up with the puck. Put it behind the net. Draisaitl there to take it. Bounces off a check from Backlund. And it's swatted past Brody and out. 2.5 to go in the second. And the crowd coming alive at Scotiabank Saddledome. Getting their money's worth tonight. This has been a good game. End-to-end action.
It's what everybody anticipated.
Already had 46 shots on goal combined, and we're not even through 2 periods. Puck played it off a stick. Stajan trying to get there, and Nielsen comes out to sweep it to the corner. Long pass fails to connect. Might be icing, and it is. With 1:59 to go.
The numbers are going to make you look like a really smart guy, Rick. You brought it up, so
they must be impressive because that's hard to do.
Let's go to the first 10 games for the Flames defensemen. Only 14 points. Not a very strong record. Last 10 games, 36 points. And a very strong record.
And if you want to go the last 11 games now, that's 4 more points. So 40 points the last 11 games from the blue line for Calgary.
I like your self-deprecating humor as well.
Here's Sam Bennett. Nothing self-deprecating about his game tonight. He's had a strong one off the board. Bennett, backhand, stop, rebound. They chop away. Nielsen pokes the puck aside. Eberle there to clear the zone. And here's Pouliot. He has 2, looking for the hat trick. And it's steered away by Ramo. Good job by Pouliot just to get a shot away as that puck was bouncing and tumbling. Played out front. Eberle forced to the corner. Hamilton's lost his stick. Pass for Greiba didn't work. Got it away from Gaudreau. Pouliot out front. Eberle shot deflected on goal. Ramos save. Rebound. Eberle out front of the backhand. Put it wide. And the Oilers buzzing now. Here's Nugent Hopkins again. This line's been great. Out front. Greiba mishandled the puck off the stick. Wide of the goal. Final minute of play. Puck flipped back to the line. Letestu keeps it alive. What a pushback by the Oilers. Like a heavyweight fight. Each team taking turns throwing haymakers tonight. 40 seconds left. Here's Johnny Gaudreau. Gaudreau out front. Pass deflected away by Justin Schultz. Gaudreau steals, scores! He's done it again. 4-3 Calgary.
Done it again with an assist from Justin Schultz. That's just heartbreaking after the great shift, after the Flames scored to tie the game. Just make a safe play. Time running down in this period. Schultz, lots of time. Take the puck behind the net, and instead he tries to make a play. Puck is knocked off his stick from Sean Monahan right onto the stick of Johnny Gaudreau. You could see the frustration shown by Schultz.
Flames goal, his 17th of the year.
Second tonight for Gaudreau, 17 on the year. And the Flames battling back from 2-0 and 3-1 deficits at their first lead of the hockey game. Giordano looking for more with a shot. That deflects high and wide. 5 seconds left in the period. Backlund out of the reach as Brody tried to feed him a pass. Throw it out front by Colborne as the horn sounds. And the second period comes to an end. Well, Farley Vanstone of cereal shopped at Safeway on behalf of Safeway, a Mott's Garden cocktail. Farley, you've won the Sultan Harley Pasternak Power Blender. 4 goals for Calgary on 20 shots for the Flames in that period. And they lead the Oilers 4-3 through 40. Back to the studio. Here's Jeff Merrick.
It's a wild one at the OK Corral, Scotiabank Saddledome. Brian Burke says hi to Peter Chiarelli and Craig McTavish as they're seeing quite the night. 4-3 Flames lead. Louis DeBrusk stops by once again. Does this kind of remind you of the good old days?
Boy, I'll tell you, does it ever. They're really letting these two teams play out there, the referees, the officials, which you love to see because it's a battle on the ice. There's back and forth action. I mean, grade A chances on both sides. Listen, this is a game of mistakes, and there's been a ton of those in this game tonight, but it makes for an exciting game because both sides are capitalizing on those mistakes.
You know, in 2013, Leon Draisaitl was drafted number 3 overall by the Oilers. What a fabulous year he's had. But do you think number 4 is trying to make a statement tonight?
He really is. You know, every time they're going to play each other, and that's Sam Bennett for the Calgary Flames, the way he plays the game, you cannot help but notice him when he's on the ice. And he's doing it the Hard Knocks way. He's working his way up the lineup column. He's fighting for his minutes. He's had an aggressive edge tonight. And that's what I love most about him. And I told you a little earlier, Roger, he reminds me of a young Brendan Morrow. He has that passion. He has that compete. More skilled than Brendan Morrow. Listen, Brendan Morrow is a darn good player, but Sam Bennett does have that high elite skill when he puts it together. It hasn't clicked for him yet, but boy, oh boy, is he clawing to try and get himself into the mix and make things happen.
All right, Lou, thanks for coming down to the southern part of the province. Goaltending change for the Oilers as we get set for Rick and Kelly.
So Cam Talbot, and he played last night in Vancouver. Anders Nielsen, 2 periods, 30 shots, gave up 4 goals. What do you think of this change, Kelly?
You know what? I don't think the 4 goals given up by Nielsen necessarily his fault. In fact, the Justin Schultz turnover was a terrible play under 30 seconds, but this might be something to spark his team. Talbot, the good news is you go to last night's game and it looked like he's badly shaken up late in the 3rd period, and for him to, of course, be well enough to come into this game is a good thing for the Oilers.
Took a hit up high in that game in Vancouver and banged his head on the goalpost as well, but was able to finish the game.
And it looked really bad initially.
Well, how about Jannik Hansen? Face first off the crossbar, goes in for repairs, comes out and scores the winner in overtime for the Canucks. That was their first OT win after 7 losses. There's Backlund backhanding it in. So a wild second period. The Flames rally back from 2-0 and 3-1 deficit, score 4 goals, lead 4-3. Oilers, Darnell Nurse with a pass to center. Pouliot had 2 goals in the first period in a 1-minute, 50-second span. Never had a hat trick in his career. Plays the puck up the boards. Everly lets it get past him and Russell back to the Calgary blue line. Darnell Nurse, long pass, tipped over to Everly by Nugent Hopkins. Everly in, down the boards, out front, looking for Hendricks into the play. That didn't quite connect. Keaton works the puck down the boards. Threw it out front. That goes through the crease out the other side. Flames clear. Lifted down the ice by Russell. Letestu. Korpikoski. Hendricks out front. Korpikoski trying to get there. Jams it on goal. Rommel made the save. Rebound off the stick of Letestu. Gets it back along the boards. Shoots. Stop. Rommel. Rebound goes wide. Korpikoski. Hendricks. Great start for the Oilers, and again, it's this line with some pressure. A shot from the point, whistles wide. Around the boards, the Keaton shot deflects into the corner. Chris Russell to it.
After an action-packed second, would we expect anything less from this third?
Game just picked up where it left off. Sam Bennett, the forecheck. Nikita Nikitin slides it up the boards. Giordano with a howitzer from the point that missed the net around the glass and out. Giordano with the game-tying goal on the power play in the third. In the second, pardon me, Flames had a shorthanded goal and a power play goal in that middle frame. As Lance Boma works it in. Fane watching him. Good work by Fane. Fane to check Boma. And the Oilers clear the zone as Dougie Hamilton retreats. Gives the puck to Matt Stajan. Here's Boma again, working on Fane. Slapper, and that goes off Fane's stick. And out of play. And gives us a chance to take a look at the scoring summary. Brought to you by Panago Pizza. Before, during, or after the game, get a fresh Panago.
Johnny Gaudreau, the 16th, and then the 17th also. So he puts the Flames up 4-3, and that's where we stand right now. That's the story.
You know, it's been a wild period when we have to go to the second page.
Yeah, I know.
That's always
like
a giveaway.
I guess the story is as well, though, and I said it late in that second period, that the Draisaitl line started to take over this game. We haven't seen as much just yet early on this third, but that was a remarkable second period from that line.
They're on the ice now. Draisaitl trying to feather a pass out front. Never got it there. Here goes Ferland to Colborne. Colborne out front for Brody. And Hall got his stick in the way of that pass. Purcell, Draisaitl, fan of the one-time pass back towards Hall. Giordano settles it down. And here goes Joe Colborne. Colborne turns. Johnny Gaudreau with a quick shot. Stopped by Cam Talbot. That was sneaky by Gaudreau, who has 2 goals tonight.
Introducing Engel & Volker's Calgary, the #1 overall pick for your Calgary real estate needs. We truly are in a league of our own.
Great concentration shown by Talbot. Nice little release from Gaudreau from a bad angle, which might surprise some goaltenders.
Monahan facing off against Nugent Hopkins. Wins the draw for Calgary. Russell. Chris Russell cutting up front. Trying to go up high on Talbot. That puck goes out of play. And they're saying the faceoff will come outside the zone.
And it hits something. I'm certain of that. I could hear it. Let's see if we can hear it. Oh.
Nope. Straight out.
Okay, I thought I heard something.
I did too, Kelly. I did hear something that sounded like a puck off a stick, but Sean Monahan wins the draw, and there's Chris Russell with control once more. Over to his partner, Dougie Hamilton. Johnny Gaudreau. Another shot, deflects. Play behind the net. Gryba finds Eberle, and he'll clear. So Gaudreau has had 3 goals last game against Winnipeg, 2 tonight.
Home ice dominance again from him.
He's remarkable, especially in this building. You mentioned Matt Hendricks hit hard by Sam Bennett, and again by Bennett. Boy, has he been a force. And that's an offside call as Granlund steps in early, but 2 big hits by Sam Bennett on a pretty sturdy guy in Matt Hendricks.
I'd have to say maybe the most impressive, most impactful game we've seen of this Sam Bennett's young NHL career. And he was a force from his first shift of the game. That's his 5th hit of the night. He's had a number of scoring opportunities as well. You heard Louis DeBrusk talk about him in the second intermission with Roger. 3 scoring chances, so overall terrific game.
You think back to all that silliness at the combine in his draft year. He had the bad shoulder, couldn't do the pull-ups. People wondered about his strength. When you watch a game like tonight, you go, what was anybody worried about?
First of all, I was offended that those results were leaked. That is something in which that has to stay internal, and there's no need for that.
Well, and he was hurt.
He's hurt.
Yeah. But he is.
And those results are no different than going to a doctor. Those are not meant to be made public.
I agree. And that's a whole other issue.
Yeah,
but they were. And it seems so ridiculous now when you watch the way the guy plays that anybody ever thought that might be an issue. Ferland one-hands the puck into the zone, then heads off on a change. The Draisaitl line back on the ice for the Oilers. Here's Hall. Gets a bit of room over the line with a shot up high. Draisaitl to it on the far boards. Purcell. Draisaitl. Quick pass. Schultz will pick it up off the wall. Justin Schultz with a wrister. And a glove save by Ramo as Purcell was trying to tip that. Ramo makes the stop and hangs on. Exactly 5 minutes gone, third period.
This is a difficult situation for a goaltender because it seems as though Purcell, in this case, coming through the slot, will have a chance to deflect this. Guys are so good with their hand-eye coordination that most often they do deflect it. He misses it, and Ramo at the last second has to make that save. And although it doesn't look as dangerous, I can assure you when you're really anticipating a deflection, those are so hard to react on.
Korpikoski. Pass to the circle. Letestu can't get it. Weidman takes it away. And David Jones tips it out. No icing. Must have touched Nurse on the way by. Talbot plays the puck to the corner. Cops it up the stage and trying to get it out front. Put it behind Jones. And Letestu backhands it in. Pakarinen in the forecheck. Weidman gets the puck. Pass off the stick of Stajan and outside the zone. He had the short-handed goal for Calgary, his second goal of the season. Korpikoski check. Matt Stajan works it to the line, plays it across. Derek Englund through center ice. Fires it in. Talbot stops that behind the net, plays the puck to Nikita. Pass by Pouliot deflects. Eberle hard after it. Watched by Chris Russell. Eberle played it out front right to Yuri Hudler. And Hudler finds Monahan. Cuts at the line. Lost the puck to Eberle, who clears. 6 minutes gone, third period. Hudler plays it in. Oilers control. Cough it up for a moment as Colborne knocked it free, but right to Fane, and here's Eberle. With Nugent Hopkins who carries down the way. Stops along the boards with a shot. Blocked by Chris Russell. And Johnny Gaudreau. Back the other way for Calgary. Gaudreau turns back as the Flames were in early. We'll drop it off and head off on a change. That Russell's like 3-on-3. Go back, drop the puck off. Some fresh legs off the bench.
You could tell something's up. He must have been tired because he had no real interest in trying to gain the zone.
Michael Ferland tied up by Fane. Colborne to the corner for Backlund. Watched by Hall. Backlund off the board. Back to Giordano. Giordano wrister. Didn't get it through. Sekera blocked that in front of the goal. Here's Draisaitl in the center. Dumps the puck in. Ramo leaves that for TJ Brodie. Oilers send up the fourth line. Brodie just waiting behind the net. Hard bank pass out the center ice, off the stick of Raymond into the zone. Top deep pairing for Calgary heads off. The wave rolls around the Scotiabank Saddledome. The Oilers ice the puck. 12:18 to go in the third.
Intact Insurance Company, proud to partner with the Calgary Flames.
One thing you notice with Cam Talbot, just how efficient he is moving the puck to his defense. And he's not fancy, but he just sets it up behind the net nicely for them.
Weidman snaps his stick on a one-timer. He'll have to go to the bench for a new one. Oilers get the puck out. Gazdic backhands it in. He'll turn. And they'll change. 8-minute mark, third period. Johnny Gaudreau over the line. Backhand pass. Monahan couldn't settle it down. Bouncing puck in the corner. Yuri Hudler plays the puck down low for Gaudreau. Down by Greiba. Fans want a call. Play continues. Hendricks gave it away to Gaudreau behind the net. Took a bump. Hendricks gets it back. And Matt Hendricks skates it out through center. Dumps that in on goal. Ramos steers the puck to the corner. Hendricks bumping Hamilton. Korpikoski gets it loose. Kicks the puck to the corner. Letestu back behind the net for Korpikoski. Broken up by Hamilton. And here's David Jones. North Vancouver native fires the puck in. Sekera lets it go. Jones gets back to it. Lance Poma. Watched by Sekera. Cycles the puck to Jones. Now Matt Stajan. Up the boards. Back behind the net. Sekera. Lost the puck in the corner. Matt Stajan back onto it. Turning away from pressure. Back behind the net for Jones. Jones out front for Boma. Weak shot wide. Good cycle by this line for Calgary. Stajan. Boma. Battling Sekera. Stajan back in support. Colborne has joined the play off the bench. Taylor Hall gets over to it. And Greiba ices the puck.
That was a great fourth line shift.
Well, an epic rivalry from a new perspective. Unrestricted access into the lives and locker rooms of the Canadiens and the Bruins. Sportsnet presents Road to the Winter Classic, Episode 3, Wednesday on Sportsnet.
Stajan and his line mates, Boma and Jones, were terrific on that shift, keeping the puck deep in the Oilers' zone.
Taylor Hall carries in. Oilers able to finish off a change after the icing call. There's Eberle in the corner. Hall in support. Back for Eberle. Puck deflects off Chris Russell right to Kariyaramo, and he hangs on. As we approach the midway mark of the third, it's still 4-3 Calgary. Telus Flames hockey on Sportsnet. Scotiabank Saddledome, where fans are getting their money's worth. It's been a wild one. 4-3 Flames lead as we check our crunch of the game. Brought to you by Old Dutch Foods. Quality lives here with snacks for every occasion. Kelly, crunches of the game.
And all five of them, no surprise here, Rick. Sam Bennett has had just a whale of a game, and not only with the hitting, physical play, but defensive awareness, offensive opportunities. Been fun to watch.
5 hits for Sam. The Flames have outshot the Oilers 14-5. And Sam Bennett has led the way, the 19-year-old, in that capacity for Calgary. A shot tipped wide of the Calgary goal. Past the midway mark of the third, Flames clear. Might be a little too hard. Gaudreau trying to take off the icing call. Good hustle, no icing. Darnell Nurse pressured by Hudler. Nurse, Gaudreau steals, threw it out front. Monahan couldn't handle the pass. 3 Oilers out the center. Eberle plays it in. Pouliot down the wing, back out front for Eberle, blocked by Giordano. Sean Monahan pokes the puck out. Onto it is Hudler. Nice work there by Nugent Hopkins to lift the stick and steal. And in comes Eberle. He's by himself. Eberle to the goal. One-handed shot. Ramo makes the save. And he's able to cover up on a nice chance there by Jordan Eberle to tie the game.
When you're protecting a 4-3 lead like this, you've got to be stronger on the puck. Yuri Hudler has his pocket picked, and then TJ Brodie tries to be a little bit too fancy on the highly skilled Jordan Eberle, and Ramo bails the two of them out.
Reset to do the face-off over again. Shots 31-26 in favor of Calgary. Backlund and Draisaitl in the face-off circle. Backlund wins it. Brodie gets the puck. Pass hops away. Colborne right to Ferland. Backlund over the line. Backlund on the backhand. Got to the forehand with the shot. Tomlinson rebound through him. Couldn't get a stick on it. Nice move out of the corner by Backlund to get a good scoring chance. Colborne. Backlund. Draisaitl for the Oilers. Montaigne up the boards. Down the ice. Puck deflected. No icing. Ramo plays it. Both teams changing. TJ Brodie. Bennett trying to get after a loose puck, knocked away from him. Flames caught offside. Bennett tags up. Keaton controls. And working it off the boards and out is Korpikoski with Letestu over the line. Korpikoski cuts in behind the net, played it out front. That's batted away by Granlund. Played back to the line. Nobody there for the Oilers, and it slides outside the zone as Greiba takes control. Pakarinen dumps it in. England. Hard around. Letestu cuts it off. Weidman popped it up. Here's Letestu again. Down low for Korpikoski. Bouncer. Checked in the corner. Puck back to the line. Letestu gave it away to Englund, and he'll bring it out for Calgary. Big Derek Englund through center. David Jones into the play. Nurse put it behind his own net to Schultz, hit by Jones. Stajan trying to get the puck. Comes back to the line to Hamilton. Stajan in the corner. Lance Bowman now. Letestu got a stick on that pass. Jones behind the net. Bowman's out front. Jones turns with a shot off the outside of the goal. Nurse knocks the puck back to the end boards. Another good shift for this line for Calgary. Matt Stajan. Chris Russell just kept it in. Down low for Jones. Watched by Schultz. Jones played it back to the near side. Everly gets to it first. Turns and popped it up at the line, but it got past Stajan out. Pouliot settles it down. 13 minutes gone in the third. One-goal game. Draisaitl. Drop pass. Pouliot. Draisaitl. Pouliot. Poke check. And away goes Johnny Gaudreau. Three Flames to center. Gaudreau with Monahan and Hudler. Gaudreau. That shot blocked. Feigned on the way. Sekera. Up the boards. Hudler's gone to the bench. TJ Brodie back for it. Giordano back to Brodie. Monahan tipped it in. Too high. And we get a whistle with 6:25 left, third period. 4-3 Calgary on Sportsnet.
And what does Leah Hextall do when she's not on TELUS Flames Hockey? She comes to the Saddle Dome. A reminder to shop at Safeway today. Watch future Sportsnet telecast. You could win a trip for two to a Dreams Resort and Spa, courtesy of redtag.ca, where Canada shops for great travel deals. Shop at Safeway today. You could be our next lucky winner.
Quite a night, Kelly. Louis DeBrusk in the building. Leah Hextall.
I know. Leah sent me a text, see if I can come say hi and meet her mom after the game. So, looking forward to it.
And they are being treated to a wild one here in Calgary. 4-3 Flames lead. Oilers are up 2-0 and 3-1. 4-goal second period for Calgary, and they're on top as Backlund works it in. Backhand. Talbot save. Rebound loose. Winds up on the boards. Draisaitl puts it behind the net. Sekera takes his time and finds Leon Draisaitl ahead of Taylor Hall. He'll carry in, cuts to the middle. Hall, such a great skater with a shot that never got through. High bouncer to Schultz. Justin Schultz hit by Colborne hard in the corner. Bouncing puck along the boards. One-timer personal turn aside by Rommel. Mark Giordano settles it down. Talking about the Flames winning 10 straight on home ice. Oilers have a 7-game home winning streak going. And they'll wrap up this mini 2-game road trip to start the post-Christmas portion of the schedule.
Yes, they've been much better at home.
And they've got a 6-game homestand starting on Tuesday against LA. And they'll try and keep it rolling. Here goes Johnny Gaudreau into Jiri Hudler. Greiba goes back to it. Everly off the boards, got it loose, and away goes Nugent Hopkins. Pouliot with him. Nugent Hopkins with a shot blocked by Russell. And Rommel covers up with the side of the goal. 4:53 to go. Regulation time. It's still a 1-goal Calgary lead. TELUS Flames Hockey from Scotiabank Saddledome on Sportsnet.
TELUS is proud to ignite the flames. Show your love for the Flames and post a selfie using the hashtag AllHeartFlames for your chance to win one of 7 Samsung tablets. TELUS, the biggest fan of Canada's biggest game.
4:53 to go, third period, third meeting of this season. 5 total between these teams. Flames looking to Be the first home team in the Battle of Alberta to win this season. They each won on the road.
I like this matchup right now. The Flames' fourth line versus the Oilers' third, and both of them have been absolutely terrific in this game.
Laurie Korpikoski plays it in, and that's going to be an offside call at the Calgary blue line. Gives us a chance to check the game review. As always, brought to you by Intact Insurance Company, proud to partner with the Calgary Flames.
Benoit Pouliot, 2 goals in the first period. Johnny Gaudreau stays red hot, 2 goals. And will the Flames make it 11 straight here at home? A franchise record. That's the only question remaining.
We mentioned that Pouliot's trying to become the first Oiler to score a hat trick against the Flames in nearly 16 years. The last Flame player with back-to-back hat tricks is Håkan Lube. That happened in 1988, Kelly. So
let me guess, I might have been one of those goalies. Dave Moyer, our statistician, shaking his head, but
we're having a self-deprecating off now. Here's Hall down the wing with a weak shot, turned aside by Ramo. Purcell to Draisaitl. Purcell behind the net for Hall. Taylor Hall, Purcell, quick shot. Ramo, good position, makes the save and covers up.
Excellent scoring chance by the number 1 line of the Oilers. Good work down low. Taylor Hall, really good patience, and Teddy Purcell just backs up about 2 or 3 feet away out of the traffic. This is what Taylor Hall sees on the play. And nice save, but just really like how Purcell got away from the traffic.
Flames get the puck off the draw. Yuri Hudler out to center ice with Gaudreau. Pass to Gaudreau. Nice play to knock it down. Gaudreau right in for the hat trick. Stopped by Talbot. Rebound out front. Hudler stopped by Talbot. What a save. And now a penalty coming up to Edmonton as Johnny Gaudreau that close to back-to-back hat tricks. Flames are going back on the power play.
And he's just so elusive. Johnny Gaudreau gets around Justin Schultz. And Johnny Gaudreau holding his hand after he's complaining that he was slashed from Schultz. And he gets a really good scoring opportunity there.
So Schultz is in the box
for hooking. I was unsure with his reaction. I thought he was holding his hand in a way kind of that it was hurt.
Flames are 1 for 2 on the man advantage tonight. Giordano on the power play goal. And right now it's Weidman and Brody to start this power play on the points. Pass by Gaudreau, but Weidman just out of his reach. A rare mistake tonight for number 13. Flames have power play goals in 3 straight games now. As Dennis Weidman drops it off for Yuri Hudler. Carries over the line. Here's Gaudreau. Chases it down, behind the net to Hudler. Knocked away from him, right to Darnell Nurse. Nurse to center. 3 Oilers over the line. Long shot, high and wide. Greiba to it. Plays it across. Nugent Hopkins. Oilers want to return the favor. Calgary has a shorthanded goal tonight. Eberle. 3 minutes to go. Turns back. Minute 10 left in the power play for the Flames. The Oilers are playing keep away right now. Sam Bennett, TJ Brody. Brody skates it out of the reach of Backlund. That'll be an icing call with 54 seconds left in the Schultz penalty.
TJ Brody does such a great job. He's so difficult to contain, but he misses this backhand pass. And so that is icing, an important face-off in the Flame zone.
Draisaitl will take the face-off against Backlund. Slow changing here. Long discussion going on at the Calgary bench about who was on the ice. So Giordano has to go off. Bennett comes in. And now we're set. Backlund beats Draisaitl on the draw. Weidman behind the net to Brody. Bank pass to Ferland out on the power play. He finds Backlund down the wing. Backlund, Richter wide. Bounces around to Draisaitl. This is Hall with the pass. Ferland drops it off. They're goes Sam Bennett. Into the zone. Backlund. Bennett. Hit hard by Hall. Giordano keeps the play alive. Backlund to Bennett. Bennett. Backlund. Behind the net. Ferland plants himself in front. Here's Hamilton. Giordano. Rister scores! Michael Ferland with the screen. Mark Giordano with the goal. 5-3 Calgary.
And Giordano's second of the game, and you're right, Rick, without the traffic in front, it looked like a fairly harmless play, but Ferland does a really nice job battling with Nurse, gets body position, gives him a little shove, and takes away the eyes of Talbot. Puck goes right through his legs. So difficult for the goaltender to figure out what side to choose, and indecisiveness from Talbot, and that's a 2-goal lead by the Flames.
Scored by number 5, Mark Giordano.
So 2 power play goals for the Flames tonight, both by the captain Mark Giordano, and the Flames lead 5-3. Talbot to Everly at center. Played it across. Pouliot. He has a pair. That's broken up by Brody. Nugent Hopkins try to tip it free. The Flames get control and flip it back out again. Puck deep in the Calgary zone. Giordano clears. Darnell Nurse. Colborne got it over the line. Ferland might have been offside. Play continues. Schultz. Hit hard. Michael Ferland with the big check.
There's 1 minute remaining in the third period.
Third period. Schultz back to the puck. Ferland steals. Puts it back in. Talbot, who replaced Nielsen to start this third period, plays the puck to Korpikoski. Talbot stays in goal. And Ramo gloves the puck and hangs on. Now Russell Arnold of Calgary entered Score and Win, has won a $250 Visions electronics gift card courtesy of Safeway and Mott's Garden Cocktail.
Well, that decision will tell us that Todd McLellan feels that they have not been generating enough here in this third period, and that the goaltender stays in the net, sending a message to his players that we've got to give more here in the third.
Oilers had a very good second half of the opening period. The Flames have definitely had the edge in the final 40 minutes tonight. It's a giveaway shot. Purcell never got it through. Russell blocked that one. Didn't even know he did it. Loose puck. McKeaton to it. 20 seconds left. Gave it away to Chris Russell off the glass and out. And here's Gaudreau. He has 2, but he knocked it down with a high stick, and the whistle blows. Good hair. Crowd came alive. Face off back in the Calgary zone with 14 seconds to go.
This has been a really resilient Flames team in this game. The Oilers, all sorts of jump the last 10 minutes of the first period, race out to a 2-0 lead, get a 3-1 lead in the second period, and it looked as though these Oilers were in command of this game, and wow, Flames team.
4 unanswered.
Yeah, there you go. Maybe we can answer it. They just stuck to the game plan.
They did. As Weidman goes back, plays it around the boards. Hall cuts it off with a shot. Ramo makes one more stop.
I say we can put it in the books now. 11th straight franchise record. And this is a franchise that has had some pretty impressive teams, especially here at home.
Early in the year, they were not having much success at all in this building, Kelly. And Bob Hartley, one of the things he wanted to focus on when they were struggling is we have to make our home rink a tough place for opponents to play, and that they have done in this run. It's been remarkable, and it will continue. As the Oilers win the draw, Nurse with a quick shot off of Weidman wide. The final seconds tick down. The Calgary Flames have set a franchise record. 11 straight home ice victories. They come from behind and beat the Oilers 5-3.
Final score, Calgary 5, Edmonton 3. With the win, the Flames have set a new franchise record for 11 consecutive wins at home.
2 goals by Johnny Gaudreau, 2 goals by Mark Giordano on the power play. And the Flames win round 3 of the Battle of Alberta and keep their home winning streak alive.
TELUS Flames Hockey. Brought to you by TELUS, the future is friendly.
All right, Kelly, 3 stars tonight. Look who's on top again.
Remarkable, this kid, 22 years old, 2 goals again tonight. Mark Giordano with a 2-goal game, and Sam Bennett, we talked about maybe his most impressive pro game so far, and he was a big influence in the Flames' victory tonight.
Oilers look good with a 3-1 lead in the second period. Got a couple of goals for a 2-0 lead after 1. They seem to be playing well, but the Flames push back hard. That middle frame, they get 4. They add 1 more in the third and knock off Edmonton by a score of 5-3 for Kelly Hrudey. Roger Millions, Louis DeBrusk, Rick Paul saying so long from Calgary. Stick around. Sportsnet Central is next.